Hello, this is Simon, broadcaster and traveller. Welcome to the latest edition of Pod World. Welcome again to Pod World, and we're on the road again, or in a short while at least, on the tram. I've come to one of the great Central European capital cities. I'm in Budapest, on the banks of the River Danube. Actually, strictly speaking, I'm in Buda and I'm looking across to the Parliament buildings, which are in Pest. But my first port of call is going to be just down the road from here at the castle that overlooks Budapest. So onto the tram and into the castle. Perhaps before getting on the tram, I should explain something about the public transport system in Budapest. It's excellent. It's all controlled by an app called Budapest Go. So you need to download that onto your phone before you go and connect it with a credit card. And then every time you make a journey, you simply select buy a ticket and it will come onto your phone. And then as you approach the bus, the tram or the metro, you'll see a barcode, a QR code by every door or entrance, and you just put your phone against that, against the validated ticket, and hey presto, you get on the bus and off you go, or the tram or the metro. Works on all, and it's all interlinked. And the other thing about the app is that it has maps, and you can plan a journey and it will tell you the best way of getting from A to B and which service you can use. Too much detail to go into now, but once you've downloaded the app, it's all self-explanatory. I'm now on the castle ramparts of Budapest, and my plan was initially to take the funicular up to this point from the banks of the Danube, but I had been tipped off that might be a problem, and it is. You see, the carriages only carry about 30 people. It takes a little while because it's an ancient funicular to get up and down the slope. And so, as you can imagine, there are about 300 people waiting for the funicular. But that's no problem. I've got legs, so I decided to walk, and it probably took me 10 minutes to get to this point. And you are rewarded when you get here to the most spectacular of views over the Danube and the skyline, what is effectively Pest, the Pest side of Budapest, with the Parliament buildings to the left and the great cathedral directly ahead. A sight of beauty and wonder. And not only that, the castle also houses two popular museums. One is an art gallery, which is to my left as I have the city at my back, and then to my right is the Museum of Military History. Probably going to have a quick look at that. Every hour, and we've just missed it, but we may be here for the next one, there is the changing of the guard, where we've got a couple of gents in rather smart khaki uniforms. They'll stand guard in their sentry boxes for the next hour, and then their colleagues will come and replace them. A beautiful day. We're here in May, lovely sunny, 20 degrees, ideal conditions to explore this magnificent city. And right on cue, here we are, just a couple of minutes before 1 p.m, and it is time for those khaki soldiers to replace by more khaki soldiers with the changing of the guard. All very precise. So the bayoneted guns are shouldered, presented, and shouldered again. Very neat. Guards have now exchanged their rifles, all carefully choreographed, and handed them back, and now with their original weapons. It's all been supervised by what I imagine is the sergeant There's a very, very shiny sword. And with that, the ceremony is over. Today I'm atop the Basilica of St. Stephen, not far from the Parliament building here in Budapest, just beneath 96 metres. The tallest building in Pest. It shares that distinction with the Parliament building. Church and state, neither can be taller. That's the theory. Church obviously plays an important role here. Hungary has a kind of mixed relationship with religion. That's one for historians to explore. But what you get from St. Stephen's and the Basilica at this elevated view, apart from great exercise if you climb up all the 96 metres via the stairs, are fantastic views over the castle, the palace, built in the Habsburg era and now being rebuilt. There's still building work after it was destroyed in large part during World War II. You also get to see the Parliament building to its right, and also St. Matthias Church, which dominates the far Buda side across the Danube River. One thing you can't see actually, strangely because of all the buildings in front of it, is the Danube itself. But anyway, here we are, 96 metres. Let me tell you about getting tickets here. My suggestion is not to queue, as many people do, but simply go to the nearby barcode, QR code, put it on your phone, follow the links, put your credit card number in, you'll get a ticket in 2 minutes. You won't have to queue and wait and wait and wait. And if you're of a unfit disposition or you're not able to walk properly, there are elevators and lifts that will take you up to this viewing platform here at St. Stephen's. St. Stephen's, or St. Istvan as it sometimes appears in Hungarian, well worth a visit, particularly on a beautiful spring day like today. It must be fair to say you can't truly experience the best of Budapest without taking a trip on the River Danube, and that's what I'm doing right now. I've chosen a paddle steamer that does regular trips out of the centre of Budapest. It's cost me €12 and they've thrown in a glass Prosecco too. It takes an hour, sends us one way down the river for 3 bridges and then returns to do 3 further bridges and out towards the Parliament building. I can't think of a better way to spend a lovely hour. My final stop in Budapest is atop Gellert or Gellert Hill, and if you are a native Hungarian speaker, please forgive my pronunciation. And you can access it from many points in Budapest, but my recommendation is do try and coordinate it with the number 27 bus, which will take you up the steep slopes and drop you off very close to the summit, and then it's just a simple walk to the top of the hill. And from the top of the hill you can see everywhere that we have already visited during the course of this trip to Budapest. Not all at the same time, you have to walk around the top of the hill to be able to see the various parts. So for example, to my right we've got the Danube River, and further right beyond there the brutalist architecture of the communist era, particularly after 1956 when Hungary was under the yoke of the Soviet Union. And then sweeping left we've got the Parliament building at St. Stephen's and much of the architecture that the Austrians left when they were the governors of Hungary up to 1918. In other words, you can see here history in architecture from the top of the hill. I've wanted to come to Budapest for an awful long time, and I'm really glad I made the trip. It's a great place to do in 3 days, which is what we spent the time doing here. I hope you've enjoyed the podcast. I hope it's given you some indication as to why you should come to Budapest and get on a flight and come and enjoy one of Europe's most interesting capital cities.